Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tenacious the Human, and welcome back to our King Arthur campaign. And you join us outside Tarsus, where Conan the Conqueror, one of our greatest heroes of this entire game here, he is ready to go and smash up some Egyptians. He's had a marvellous life. He was on the long expedition over to Conan and Elwood over here. He obviously is the man of Conan itself, Conan II, and all of these other towns, which all are miserable because he's not there. But he's had a marvellous campaign, and now he's got to finish off the Egyptians. Obviously, last time we went and took Antioch with a random force, without a leader, of course. They were, well, supported by Kai the Morbid, who's headed into Sidon. Really, our smash and grab on the underbelly of Egypt is going fairly well. We obviously had a bit of a setback last time when Horse the Iceni got a bit caught out. Essentially, the classic issues with which army I'm allowed to control. If I had the main army, I'm sure would have been fine, but as it happened, the kind of mishmash of troops filtering in one by one was just a big problem for me. Nonetheless, they've kind of done their job, which is to keep all of these guys distracted and disrupted, and that really means that they've been focusing way too much energy down here and not enough on all of this lovely tasty underbelly. We of course took Salamis as well en route over here to Tarsus. All is looking pretty darn good, all things considered. We should probably go and grab our spy as well, because he could be very useful if we go and get him onto this here ship. So we'll get him over here. I'm sure he can do some lovely good stuff. Go put that on blockade. You, sir, you can head in there next time. We'll probably, though, go and smash up this army very soon indeed. Of course, the other thing is Thessalonica, where, well, the gates were open and we wanted to have ourselves lots and lots of towers. We kept on fumbling that old attempt, and now they're just putting new generals out of their arse. You know what? It's fine. It's absolutely fine, ladies and gents. We'll smash that down when we feel like it, okay? And yeah, the last few Egyptian boats have gone down here, so really the sea is completely under our control now. Any random rebels who poke us here or there. I'm just sending quite a few of my ships back to port, actually, because we do need to go get them all rebuilt. You can see I've actually managed to spend the money, which is frankly quite astounding. Astounding indeed. And elsewhere over in the Nabi Martis, we're just making sure. I'm not actually going to wage war in Spain, don't worry. But I'm just making sure that I know what's going on. I've got myself a hefty force or two over by the border, just to make sure they get the idea that they really shouldn't come and invade. We'll see about all of that. We'll see a boat if it comes anyway. So, yeah, that should be an interesting one. To start us off with, though, I think it's time to head straight into this army outside Tarsus here. So, we have ourselves, actually, what's not a terrible army against these guys. We have ourselves plenty of hoplites for once, which, whilst aren't as good as the Pharaoh's God, hopefully they'll at least be able to hold a position and not get immediately slaughtered. So what do they have here? So this general, good commander, sword bearer. Ah, he thinks he's King Arthur. No. Okay, only one Pharaoh's God and a load of Eastern infantry. Not the pink pajama men, sadly. That is a bit of a shame, we're lacking in those. Various bowmen, a fair chunk of them, otherwise mostly mercenaries who we can probably shred up fairly simply. As for the reinforcements, we should probably go in and snipe him off. He's got some nice little retinue here. I like the comedian, so nice one. Torturer, personal favourite, of course. Master of Archers, nice. Okay, he's not particularly interesting though. Yeah, nothing when it comes to influence in battle. Nothing for morale really there. So it should be fairly simple to tear them apart. We'll go and shred him nice and early. He'll be coming from the east. And as for this chap over here, Shabaka, I think we should be able to square up to him with all of our hoplites. Cretan archers, nice. We've actually got some Cretans, but yeah, with the Pharaoh's bowmen, I don't really want to take too many risks, so they'll have pretty equal range to us. At least I think they do. Indeed they do. Interesting little battlefield over here. We've got ourselves a load of chariots and cataphracts over to intercept those lads from the city. Our main army is going to race over to this hill here, because yeah, we were just slightly down it, but luckily they have decided to lay themselves over there, which is good. I don't know if that's been influenced by all of these chaps. I'm not sure. They seem to be rushing towards them anyway. That's going to distract them. That works for me. I can go and get all of my lads up here onto the hill. That lays in a very good position in order to shoot them with our archers. Come on everyone, run into position. That will be absolutely marvellous. these guys getting over here to go deal with the reinforcements. This is a good start. I'm very pleased with this, off the camera angles, which have been just a little bit awkward. So let's get ourselves over here. This will be lovely. The Crucians actually might well be in range. They are indeed. So these guys are having a bit of problems. Okay, straight into that general. You go and do that. Get into those axemen. You get into those bowmen. I don't think we'll have any trouble shredding that general apart with all of these chariots. Sometimes they break, but they do have a bit of experience, these lads, so I'm hoping they'll be absolutely fine. Just pull out there for a moment. There we go. Normally when you start pulling out is when it starts going well. That's good. These guys should be torn to shreds almost immediately. And that's exactly what we want to see. That means they are now turning to deal with us, I'd assume. Ourselves the hoplites at the front, as you might expect. Myself a couple chosen swordsmen on the flanks just to protect. One in behind just for kind of numbers, really, as much as anything else. I reckon we'll pretty much kill every last one of them. Down to 7-ish. Okay, maybe a few arrows will catch them out. That will work for us. Yeah, they're down to like 3 because of the sneaky arrows after they've left. Okay, that is all very, very good indeed. I reckon then chariots, you can get yourself over that kind of a direction. Going to cause them more problems in their flanks. Let's run over there and start dealing with them. For some bizarre reason, they've sent the Bedouin cavalry and Bedouin archers forward. Not really sure why, because quite frankly, we're just going to be able to catch them. We are, of course, chariots driven by a horse. They are camels. Obviously, camels do an advantage against the lovely horses. Yeah, they don't really like the chariots, so it's not going to end very well for them. Their arrows can do us a little bit of bother, but not all that much, frankly. So, at the moment, they seem very distracted by the reinforcements, which kind of is fine. I'd rather actually, on this occasion, we face the main army, but I don't really mind at the moment. We can tear apart the odd unit as long as we're not losing too many chariots. Grecian archers are probably going to get into range very soon. There we are. Marvellous stuff. Oh, I love the Cretians. We have not had arrows all campaign, and now we have Cretians on a hill. This is exactly what everyone wants in life. Marvellous stuff. Okay, so we start picking our targets a little bit, because yes, the chariots need to go down. That is absolutely right. Egyptian cavalry over there. Are they just fleeing in a weird direction? I don't know. They are certainly taking a strange direction at this point. I would suggest they probably are fleeing, you know. So I'm just going to regroup all of this slightly more like this. The Cretians can stay where they are. They should still be absolutely safe. We'll just shift all those around. They can run as much as possible. Yeah, Cataphracts, do you want to get across here, like right now? I mean, we're going to have a beautiful shooting gallery here for all of their troops. They want to come past us like this. Right, Eastern mercenaries, they can get themselves cleared out. That'll be absolutely grand. And the chariots, the Cataphracts even, are heading over this way. Head for those Eastern mercenaries. That will be absolutely beautiful. Right, actually, you know what? We can go grab these guys at this point and just go run them over here. We can go and blockade them a little bit. They are Pharaoh's bowmen in that direction, so they won't particularly like coming on to face us. Lovely stuff. Chariots coming in on the back of these lads. They are definitely fleeing, but I don't know quite what they're playing at, because it's not going to go very well for them. There we go. One chariot got himself killed. Charge in the back of the Pharaoh's guard. A bit of a long charge, but not the most powerful in the world. If those Cataphracts can just pull out, I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. Cilician pirates. Good stuff indeed. Right, you just start shooting them. We'll just work around those spear lads. Get one archer just to shoot at you, but the rest of you, we can do whatever we fancy. Oh, they're actually forming a line over here now. It's very interesting indeed. But they do act as if they're not acting as if they're fleeing. So, okay, we're just going to bring these guys back here for a minute. Don't mind. Yeah, maybe just get yourself back into position, chaps. That wouldn't be the worst plan in the world. Let's just grab this force back together, everybody. Back together, and maybe we'll just rearrange around here. We're now in a wonky formation. Of course we are. But that makes sense. Let's just reorganise. One Cataphract just charged themselves in. I forgot we were reorganising. The Cataphracts just charged in and caused all sorts of chaos. Might as well continue with that. To be honest, it's working fairly well for us. He's got to continue to shoot into Pharaoh's guard as we reorganise. I think we're pretty much in our new position at this stage. The dogs, what do I want to do with you? Various bowmen are coming to cataphracts, which is just hilariously good news. We'll clear all those off. General's charging in. Cataphracts, try and pull out of there. Don't really want you pulled into that. It's not really necessary. It is Egyptian cavalry general. Yeah, need to remember to be very careful about that. Okay, they've done some very good work. Let's go and get rid of those chappies. They are just fleeing this direction now. Yeah, they do seem to be fleeing, but they just stopped for a short amount of time, which was very bizarre indeed. All right, chariots, go and chase them down. I need my Ainsley chariots just to go and get on with that job. Various bowmen will get those charged with the main cavalry. Dogs, time for you just to start running in actually and just get that attack off. Infantry, just start charging them down. You won't ever catch them, but it's worth, I guess, doing something. General, go around just in case you do something stupid with all my phalanxes. That does happen sometimes. So we'll just see about all of that. Okay, all of my chariots, just start heading forward. We'll start chasing down whatever we can. Cataphracts into them. General's working his way around. Nice and safely, sir. Thank you very, very much. And chariots, to be honest, you might as well just re-target over to the bowmen, because the bowmen going down is very much a good thing, especially if we can go and catch them with all of our juicy chariots. Good stuff. Well, not really the battle I was anticipating here, but a big one all the same. 4% lost. Yeah, almost nothing, quite frankly. Cretians, just go off firing will, just in case any nonsense occurs. Get everyone to keep on going in on those various bowmen, and the general himself. Yeah, I think we pretty much scored them all, haven't we? We have indeed, we have indeed. Clear victory for us there, and I would say that is a pretty spectacular one as they go. 1,330 kills to just about 50 there. Marvellous stuff, only 52 lost. He conquers who endures. Indeed he does. So, they're into the city, which pretty much everyone murdered apart from him. He never really got into battle at all. You killed yourself, good old Arthur? No. Oh, can't even put it under siege. That's kind of annoying. You know what? We'll send one unit to go and do that just for the sake of it being done, I suppose. Actually, you know what? We might as well have enough to go and get the tower built. How much are those? 65? Ridiculous. All right, well, we'll just send a load of infantry to go and do the job. Marvellous stuff. They can at least put it under siege. We'll at least have us as a tower. We'll at least be able to just walk in one way or another next turn. Marvellous. All sorts of fantastic retinue floating into our generals here, which is just marvellous to see. And more importantly, I've just sent the general over here to go and take Tarsus, of course. He's going to waltz in. Waltzed into Tarsus. Exterminated the people, of course. Conan, still on 8 experience, not quite 9 yet. He is a drunkard, but hey, who says that doesn't help in battle? Apparently he's restrained. Interesting. Doesn't like to show his emotions apart from when he becomes a bloody butcher on the battlefield. Lovely stuff. Okay, well, we're just going to get these guys moving ever onwards. You, sir, head into that force. We can do a tiny bit of merging. Just means be careful. That will not quite work out for us. So we'll get those lads retrained. Good news indeed. You know what? We'll just get the whole line done there. That will be beautiful. And just some warband are good for holding the city. Onto you. Give you a little poke. Who are you, by the way? We need to go and take you out properly then, because you are some half-decent units. Got to be careful about all of that nonsense. Okay, we'll get on with that momentarily. Probably not even worth showing, but we'll have a little look, see how that goes. Sidon is under siege. Possibly worth going to do this myself. You know what? We'll just get it done. We'll just get it done. Lovely stuff. Sidon has also fallen nice and quickly. The coast is increasingly ours. Lovely stuff. Britain being in control of this part of the world could never have bad consequences. Nothing and no decisions they make could ever lead to a century of turmoil. No sirree. Right. End of term report. We have some money again, even though I've been really trying hard to spend it all. It does help with corruption if you don't. You get some bad traits if you start ending turn with lots of money in the kitty, by the way. Always worth spending it where you can. I know some people go, oh, you should have 700,000 monies by now. And, well, yeah, to be fair, I know how much I can use, so I'm using it. It does help prevent the odd war if the AI don't think that your towns are very approachable. They don't really like to attack full stack cities, if I'm honest. So it looks like there's a few rebels have popped up. You might notice, by the way, I have a much better view over here of all of the Dacian territory at this stage. Just want to make sure that we are very much safe and covered when it comes to our knowledge of the area. So we'll just float over here to Porylysium. You can see a tiny bit of what's going on. Not the best vision in the world. That's a slightly better spot, isn't it? So we'll go and wander into that kind of an area. Yeah, it's a bit hard to kind of get all this covered. That's probably about perfect for these chaps, isn't it? Lovely. Yeah, Thrace is just sitting there, very relaxed as ever it was. And as for over here, we are getting a few armies together, by the way. So, a couple chariots can get into that army. You join Captain Ector. And what we're doing, ladies and gents, is just bringing over a couple generals this part of the world. What we need to do is just get the odd watchtower plonked down on the way, which is marvellous. You can come here and we'll get on the boats. Good stuff indeed. Now we can actually land over there on, is it Eberware? I can't remember what the island's called now. It's gone from my mind. It's something like that. Pontic's still neutral, which is good news, but in some ways surprising because I'm expecting something stupid to happen pretty darn soon. Hasn't happened just yet. Just so you can see, by the way, this is our army that we've got over here. Now, what I think I might do with them, let me get the dogs on board, that'd be grand. What I think I might do with them is go send them up this way, because we need to go and snipe off Egyptian towns in this part of the world. I wouldn't mind going to send them up to Armenia. So, what we need to do is get some of these guys onto land. You should be able to get yourself a juicy pile of mercenaries. Yes, that's what we want. In fact, we might as well hire these lads as well. They're not the best, but we can always use them to just stand on, just stand wherever, just kind of garrison cities. That works out pretty well. And I don't mind those pelters, to be fair. They're not like the Illyrian lads, but they'll certainly do a job. The big shield is pretty nice in terms of their missile defence. Okay, as for our big fleets at this point, we probably just need to make sure that we have everything nicely set up. These guys hate each other. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Egotistical admirals. Everywhere you look, isn't it, ladies and gents? Right, get that sorted out. This place is strangely underdeveloped in many ways, but there we go. Bit bizarre. We're just going to have a couple boats in each port, to be honest. That should at least be able to just sort out any little problems we come across. And we'll just repair any ships as and when we come across them to make sure we're pretty darn safe. A bit of merging needs to go on in this army, but otherwise it's all looking pretty good actually. So what we want to do from here is move on to these other cities. We've got Jerusalem, Damascus, Hatra and Palmyra also in the area. It's a very densely busy area, isn't it? Get Tarsus under control. Normal tax rate will help. Just get some basic things. In fact, all of the things. Good news. Sardis managed to survive. Interesting. Possibly because of those bronze shields. Don't know where the Greeks are. Still floating at the border. Yeah, they might be heading in soon. They might well be heading in. And we've got ourselves a few Egyptians hanging around the Greeks here. Aren't they allies? I have a feeling they are. Egypt are allies with both Carthage and the Greeks, who amazingly aren't at war with us. In spite of the little spat we've had with Greece once or twice through this campaign. Or the Navanate, or the Novenite, or Novens, or whatever he is. Yeah, his towns are very happy with him. I'm not quite sure why. Normal tax rate, I guess we can deal with that. I smashed up the temple and rebuilding all that nonsense. That probably makes a little bit of a difference, doesn't it? Culture penalty as well. Yeah, there's quite a lot of Roman buildings. Perhaps we could smash them up in time, but to be honest, quite near the victory at this point. There's no need to worry about any of that nonsense. We're going to wait one more turn, he says again. Just see the gates open and then we'll have all of our towers built. Right, head into this guy, sieve him up. Bit of an awkward one as we try and get around the Pharaoh's guard over here. So I'm just going to try and see if I can get the general in to come and assist. Cataphracts on one side as well. That might well do this general in actually if he wants to go get himself into trouble. Shoot the Pharaoh's bowmen, try and keep them busy. As long as they're moving, I'm actually quite happy. Yeah, if they want to come towards us, that works for me. Yep, going, getting into him. Get into him. Cataphracts, you might as well pummel right into the back of them. Apart from you, actually. Experienced lads, you get over here and just help mop up these bowmen if they're going to get in a stupid position. Okay, that's good. I'm going to let the cataphracts around this side as well. That will work for us. We will hopefully tear these guys apart. General's still actually in there. No, he's gone. Yep, cut apart. Slain by your brave warriors. And Cretan archers, all of you just start running forward at this point. That'll be absolutely grand. Get out of there, cataphracts. Don't do anything stupid. We can just shoot them down at this point. So we get the Cretans just to run forward. We'll go and clear those lads off. That'll be absolutely beautiful. Get our general over onto this flank. These bowmen are not going to go anywhere, are they? No, they're very much going to get themselves killed. You, sir, shoot into them. You, sir, shoot into them. And you, sir, shoot into them. This should be nice and simple now. Cretan archers doing their beautiful thing. They're even just having a little stroll around because, frankly, why not? This battle is pretty much as good as done at this point. It's always fun to have a little bit of a good time with our Cretans. They don't even know where they are, but they're going to hit them straight in the back. They might be well armoured, but they're not going to enjoy that all the same. They do stand up surprisingly well, though, don't they? The old Pharaoh's Guard. Shame they don't have any shields, though. I think it's a bit of a shame. They'd be much better with a little shield, even if just a tiny one. Okay, let's just get all of you to shoot into them at this point. I think we'll get rid of them nice and easy. Last few lads getting shot down as we go. The odd chariot getting slaughtered as well because we are utter fools. But apart from that, all is good. They are being cleared out. Lovely stuff. There's a fair few troops gone. Some nice elite units who could have been a problem in a big army. An awkward one there, but pretty minimal losses, all things considered. Yeah, we actually lost 23 there. Not actually far off from last time. There we go. Okay, so Conan the Conqueror has done a little bit more work there, pushing ever onwards. And, yeah, heavy chariots. Get some heavy chariots into the army. Okay, there's only space for 2. That's fine. We'll have 2 for now. We'll leave the rest over here in Antioch. Get a few more infantrymen sorted out there. They are, for the time being, a little garrison, but that is no issues at all. Right, how are we looking? Because they were sending an army over here, but they seem to have turned it around at this point. Probably for the better of them, for their betterment anyway. So what do we have in terms of infantry? A bit lacking, don't we? So let's just see what we can get organised over in this part of the world. We have ourselves, yeah, very little in terms of our main infantry. We obviously can't get too much else at the moment. If we go across the border over in this direction, just bring your forces over there for now. You just go stand on the bridge. Yeah, leave those guys behind, please, sir. You go and poke over the border. If you poke over the border, you should be able to get some hoplites. So we'll try and grab those chaps. Outside Jerusalem then, and it's probably time to go and lop off some chap's head. So down it goes, rolling along the floor. Probably going to send in this army from Sidon to go and clear it out. So we're going to send you over to where a lovely assassin is. Please just come join the army. That would be grand. That is perfect. As at Sidon, a couple war band will probably keep it happy in the short term to make sure no one waltzes into the city. And as for Conan the Conqueror, do you want to go over for Palmyra? Maybe that would be a better plan for now. Let's go to Palmyra, sir. We'll go and snap up all of this part of the world first and foremost. There's an army over here. I don't think they're going to cause us too many problems. Let's just waltz back over to the city. It will be absolutely lovely over there. I've got most of my ships now into nice pairs. Should mean that they're fairly safe from the odd boat that appears. Should prevent any random losses. This way we are in pretty good condition. Even if rebels turn up, we should have plenty of fleets to be able to mobilise. So I'm going to have a little look at what we've got here. Not too much. Let's just do a quick auto-resolve with this one once again, Conan. That'll be grand. Again, he's stuck and can't actually do anything. I'm just going to hire some Eastern Infantry because they can at least act as garrison eventually. Egyptian Turncoat, marvellous stuff. That really does help, actually. So we actually, you know what, we did grab that agent, but I'd rather go send him over here to go have a little chat with those chappies. That'd be magnificent. And as for another chap here, Halls of the Iceni, he can go over to Petra. He's not the strongest army in the world, but actually, you know what, it's shaped up pretty well with the little refresh I've done here. So some nice new troops, much better mercenaries that side of the border, to be honest with you. And over here in Urian, might as well just make sure we build up a few more troops just to make sure we are safe against any random incursions. So we'll just get a few more troops just to kind of fill up the slots, keep it going. It also means that we are using up plenty of what do you call it, people. Yes, we're using lots of people because population growth is just scarily high around here. We'll have to turn down the tax rate though, unfortunately, which is going to make that a little bit higher. People like having babies when there is a low tax rate, which is a little bit annoying, eh? But there we go. Right, it's time to head into Thessalonica. Sadly, no open gates, but I don't really care anymore. Time to go finish this job. Marcellus Arianus over here got himself Arnger, some weakened troops on the wall, mostly mercenaries. 3 generals over here. None of them's even actually declared faction heir, which is a shame for them. They lost out on a few extra heavy cav. We might take a few losses here, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's head in. Let's go and clear them out. We do have a huge number of towers here to help us up, and it is, by the way, a battling deep fuchsia pink. It's been a while since we had one of those, and I do love them. Most marvellous indeed. Some Thracian mercenaries up on the wall, along with Peltast and Bastanes. Bastanes. Yes, people often miss they have 2 hit points when you look at them. They're quite nice little light infantry with a good morale, fast moving, etc., etc. But yeah, 2 hit points. They're better than they may be at first look. We've got ourselves some of our own, actually. Is it Bastani or the Thracians? No, we just got the Thracian lads. Bit of a shame. But yeah, I've just sent these 2 units over here just to have a little run around. Might just spread out their troops. They've actually left them alone, but it does mean that we're better to go and grab these walls and get some extra troops in and about. Now, if I were them, I probably would use these oranges to try and shoot down my towers. We have seen that work, haven't we, at one point or another. But there we are. Looks like not too much is happening. They've got a few peltas throwing in javelins, but I'm not sure it's going to do all that well. Where are all my ballista shots? I swear this game is so rude with this. It only does it when we are being attacked, and it never uses them ourselves. Bit of a shame that, but oh well. It's just a thing that happens sometimes. So I'm just trying to see if there's any way I can sort of use the tower to attack, but as far as I'm aware, there isn't. Maybe I'm just missing something. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to head into these walls. It should be absolutely fine. Their units are a little bit battered. There's always a chance, though, we have a few problems when it comes to this. Now, what size city are we? We look like we are size 4 by the looks of it, which means we're going to have problems with some of these towers, I imagine. We'll just have a look. So as long as these ones are largely fine, we should be perfectly good to move forward. They've all got in the towers. None of them burnt down. This is good news indeed. Very shocking, actually. So these guys are their 3 experienced lads. They are concerned. You should be, if I'm honest, but we're going to get these guys over to come and see if they can help you. You get yourselves into there. These guys need to get out and help you nice and quickly. They are about to break instantaneously, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. Okay, you guys just go and grab the next tower very quickly. Make sure we've got that on our side. These guys are going to run in. They've held for a surprisingly long amount of time. But yeah, it's not going to last much longer. We've at least put, spared their flanks. Which been shot by ballistas. Is that from over here? Just about? I'm not actually sure. That's very interesting indeed. Right. You're the wrong druids. Let's just make sure everyone else is doing something useful. You guys go and grab this wall over here. That'd be marvellous. And as for these chappies, are they up on the wall yet? They're just making it there now. Lovely stuff. So you guys just have a little run around. That would be magnificent. Come and assist us in due course. They've gone and grabbed that tower. Time for you to come and help, actually, at this point, because, yeah, I felt it's going to be a bit of a grind up here. Surprisingly, these guys have actually won against the Thracians. I say surprisingly. Only really, because I'm getting shot in the back by ballistas occasionally, which isn't particularly friendly, is it? No. I don't even know where it's coming from. How are they doing this? Dears is bringing me back to episode 4 of the old Rebels campaign with I think every end card clip is basically from a 10-minute section of that siege. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, there's been shot in the back by random magical ballistas. How are you doing over here? You're slowly chunking your way through. But the 2 with 3 experience, the ones around the main gatehouse, which was important to make sure that they didn't instantly break, and that obviously has a big knock-on effect. So we're getting plenty of men into the fight now. Good chaps to back us up as well, which is good indeed. These guys have got the tower up here. They actually come up to fight us. They might be, you know. No, they're not. The town watch are quite happy standing over there. That's fine. We're just going to start running around, actually. Go and grab the next tower. If they want to get themselves killed, they're absolutely welcome. At this point, it's just a matter of, yeah, ploughing through all of these lads, going and get this tower under our control. It's very important we do that. That will keep us happy. Yeah, now look, the flaming shots are burning down their own onagers. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Right, we've managed to capture the walls here very nicely. Thracian mercenaries, are they going to come up, or are they going to stay down there and get themselves killed? I don't know. We're actually just going to head into there at that point. I just told a load of people to do all sorts of stuff. I didn't even know what it was, but it's fine. We'll just get all those guys killed. As for the guys over here, what's going on with you? They're going to be in trouble if they try and run back. Their towers are going to shoot them, so they're pretty best standing where they are. I would, yeah, advise you to stay there, actually. Good decision. Get those druids just to stand in place. And frankly, it's just a matter of chunking down his bother gate and heading off to the plaza. Bit of a melee down here, and a bit of a melee. I mean, literally, it is a melee. That's what we're doing. It's a battle, Thomas. And we have someone coming in, head hurlers, who ignored my repeated advice to not come and join the battle, but that's absolutely fine. You know what, lads, come and join us. Why not? Just get over here, see what fun you can have. You're probably not going to be involved. Yeah, they're already done, unsurprisingly. It's a pretty simple walk to the plaza here, by the way. Just straight up this path here and over to hither. I don't know where are the generals. That's a good point. Ah, they're over here, wandering around. Probably a good idea to get in some of our other infantry, actually. So yeah, I would probably like to get these guys in to form the main little line here. So I reckon this is not a bad spot. Can't really get anyone hiding there, can I? No, I can't. Tell you what, we'll get the hoplites over here and we'll start to form a trap. The auxiliary are coming forward off the plaza, so we've got to be very careful here and make sure we get head hurlers forward to make sure that these guys don't cause us any problems. Throw the heads into them, get them nice and broken, please. I really don't want them to come and knack at my hoplites. So in come the skulls of your friends, really wavering, distraught over the enemies, and yeah, all sorts of other nonsense. Where are you going, lads? Just get yourself javelined in the back, utter fools. Okay, heads coming in. I don't think we need to worry about these guys too much. We'll just fight them here if we need to. They're not happy. They're not happy at all. Well, guys, maybe just stop that for the moment. It's brilliant. Right, well, these guys are absolutely fine. Let's see what we can do. Just try and get these guys forward a little bit, actually. Just see if they can pull them into all sorts of nonsense. The rest of you back onto fire at will. This might just pull the generals onto us, which is kind of what we want. Come on, step on the plaza. There we go. As we step on the plaza, they break. See if they react to any of this nonsense. Not quite yet. It's annoying not having proper missiles. I have almost no missiles at all, do I? No, I don't. So I'm just going to start thinking about moving other people then at this point. Let's try and creep towards this plaza. We're pretty much in position to go then. These three lads just going to walk on the plaza. They are what we call the bait. Just see... Yep, run away, lads! Run away! Right, the druids are chanting. See if they can make it. They didn't. They were too slow. But they're going to get heads galore as they charge into the hoplites. Not the best position for them to get into, but they are going to cause some bad... That guy's already dead. Terrible, terrible shot, chaps. What are they doing? All infantry, guard mode! If you're not already on guard, you should be. The phalanxes are all that. Phalanx, you're supposed to face the front. You're a phalanx. Come on, you should be phalanxing. They're all just idiots. Okay, well, they're all just getting in, which is interesting to say the least. Let's just get the dogs onto these guys, the Vitelli gladiators. That will do the job nicely. Yeah, that's one of them down, isn't it? Lovely stuff. Okay, get these two. Actually, no, we can still possibly fiddle this around. Their general's in here. Come on, sir, get in. Actually, no, don't get in. Actually, that's going to ruin our formation here, isn't it? They're off the plaza. This kind of works. This is essentially what we want. Dogs are annoyingly going to distract the armoured general. It's going to cause us problems, I suspect. But oh well, we'll just charge the cataphracts in. Get yourselves a good charge. I don't know if they're going to have problems of charging. But you never know, do you? You never know. Okay, General, come in and help us out, please. Chariots, get yourself in. They should be over here. Yeah, they're just hiding the other side of the plaza. Don't know why I started singing like that, but there we go. Cataphracts, get yourself out of there. You're just supposed to charge in and then flee. What are you doing? Oh well, you know we've got a huge scrum of a melee here because there's so many generals. All sorts of problems. Another general has fallen. There's just one left who is this leader over here. Hopefully he's going to get himself cut down. Yeah, everyone's coming in. Right, get the general at this point. It's just a huge scrum on the plaza, or on the edge of the plaza at this point. They're actually probably going to break rather than die. There he is, the last Roman. And hopefully he's going to get killed by a head hurler. That's really what we all want here today. He's poking randomly in the air. But I think this is the right place for him. Just by the lovely triumphal arch. Ah, beautiful. Right on the plaza's edge. It's an honourable way to go. The Romans have been, well, I would say tough, but heavy chariots really make short work of them largely. This guy's just about making it away at this point. No. There's 4 of them left. Here comes the general. There he goes. There he goes. I think that was one of the general units. It may not have been, actually, if it was just a heavy chariot. Oh, well. Down to the gladiators then. The last Romans are officially these chaps here. Tim, Steve and Alan. Typically, you might say, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you know what, let's just get all units out of here. Let the dogs finish it off. It was always going to be the dogs' job after all. Come on, leave it to them. 17 of them left. Come on, chariots, just go away. Do what you're supposed to do. Listen to my instruction and let the dogs finish the job. Thank you. There we go. It might not have worked in Syracuse, or I should probably call it Morbid Dog, but the Romans will finally be finished off by the bunch of dogs. Ah, yes. This will be the town of Good Pup. I'm absolutely sure of that at this point. There's, what, 5 of them, 4 of them now. That is all that remains of the faction. Let's just speed this up a little bit because they're taking their time. They really want to make the most of this, don't they? Oh, they've got him pinned down. Poor Tim. And he's gone. The Good Pups. The town of Good Pups has succeeded here. Hengist Pendragon has succeeded where his father and his friends could not, which was basically by killing the Romans with dogs. And that's really what anyone always really wanted. So Thessalonica is gone. Exterminate the population. Rename the city to the city of good dogs. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the key news: faction destroyed. The Britii are gone. Their bodies scattered across the dirt of the hills here. Yep, their ugly and ignoble ancestors. Whew. Well, that was an interesting and long war, mostly involving heavy chariots, but the occasional dog. Glad they managed to get their revenge. Well done, good old Hengist. Lost a lot of men in that battle. Clean hands. Interesting. Sending out assassins to do his killing. That's only because they're sending assassins to us. It's the only way we can do it, sir. Oh well, that's absolutely fine. So they've got a Pantheon over here, which is 2 experience, and the Druids. Lovely, that's actually down our line anyway. So we're absolutely fine with that. There was a Briton assassin somewhere, but he's disappeared. Seems to have lost track of him. Oh well, that is not an issue. So the last army, of course, will be these guys once we are retrained a little bit. We need somewhere over here where we can retrain head hurlers. Is there actually anywhere? I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that I pretty much put everything as druids because it kind of makes sense at this point of the game. Yeah, we can get them down in Sparta, can't we? Bit of an annoyance. You know what? I think all things considered, we'll just send them back to get retrained, and the other 2 will carry on as they are. Okay, well, we'll get a few turns for retraining, and we'll send Hengist back out for our grand finale. For now, it's time to refocus again on Egypt. Perhaps one of the last big battles of Egypt then. We've got a huge Egyptian force outside Palmyra. I say huge, it's actually a bit of a mix of all sorts, isn't it? We've got a general here with a few units, various bowmen and a few phalanxes just to make life awkward. We've got all sorts of scraps over here, most of it fairly basic old trash actually. Too much problem. I have no idea what the force in the city is. Can the Conqueror's got a decent army for it though. We can at least deal with the phalanxes with our own phalanxes. We've got the Cretan archers to shoot them down. So I think we should be absolutely fine. Ratio 3-2. All is grand. Let's head in. Let's go finish them off. There's a big army behind me, so what I need to do is take out these forces and turn myself around. That should be fine. I'm just going to keep my army facing this way in the short term. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Do pretty much the same thing we did last time, except they're actually going to walk into range if they're not careful, which would be quite nice, all things considered. Now we go get our chariots around the back of them. Where is our range with these guys? Very close. Come on, keep wandering. Keep on creeping ever more in that direction. That will be absolutely glorious. I think they're just about in range now. Yeah, they're going to walk into range. That's perfect for us. Okay, General is coming over to face our chariots, which is hilarious. Great way to get yourself killed. You go and take care of the Pharaoh's bowmen. I can see that we're obviously going to be intercepted. Archers, you after him. You after him. That'll be fine. General will be dead very soon. We'll just pull out. By that I mean fake pull out. He actually managed to make it around those guys, which is interesting. There's the General gone. These guys are being cut apart. And they're broken, they're broken, they're broken, they are broken, and they're all gone. Go! Go, 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 go. Chop them up. And as for the rest of them, all archers in on those last Pharaoh's guards who aren't gone. And we need to get ourselves turned around, really. What have we got in this force? I'm not actually that aware of it. So, Desert Axemen, Pharaoh's Guard, Egyptian chariots, bowmen. Okay. An interesting force, all things considered. We should be absolutely fine, actually, to go and mop some of those up. General, can you just go and finish off these guys, make sure they're completely slaughtered? That will be perfect for us. Now we'll just leave the rest of these guys, apart from those 26. That's a few too many to get those guys dealt with. General, how have you managed to go through that much of the main line here? It's absolutely ludicrous. You just had to turn around. It can't be that complicated. Can we go out of phalanx for a moment? Just because that can cause... Sometimes you get weird things going on with your own phalanxes. Right, what's happening with this? Egyptian chariots. Let's just start heading into them. And as for the two cataphracts, we need to go and grab you two guys. Start heading into this flank over here. General's just mopping up. And the main force itself, minus the general of course, are just going to turn around. So we'll go and do a little switcheroo. That'll be magnificent. Okay, let's head in over here. Let's see what damage we can cause. I'd rather like to get rid of this general nice and quickly, if at all possible. So you are going to go clear out of these. That's another general gone. That should make things nice and simple. General, get out of there before you get shot, because he will start getting shots, getting shot down. So another warlord gone. Good. Powerful charge there from the cataphracts. The good old Knights of the Round Table, as ever, doing their good deeds. And I need my chariots to start finishing off whatever is left here. That's pretty much it for this force, actually. So just get those guys. They are apparently not quite broken yet, but that charge should do them in. It has indeed. Good. That's the reinforcements gone as well. What we need is... Yeah, we need... I kind of need these forces, actually, don't I, to mop up, but none of them are too small. I kind of need them for the rest of the battle. Just got to let them get away. We can walk into a near empty city. Shouldn't be a problem. Right, everyone back over here. And we probably need to try and find the best position, actually, because we might well find ourselves a bit wonky on this hill. So let's just move forward into a slightly better position. Yeah, we're on a bit of a hill here. Probably would have been best to get ourselves up about here-ish. One unit's kind of close to us as we're moving around, so just charging those infantry. Protect my phalanxes when they're out of position. That's absolutely fine. General, get yourself back here now. We are not having any more issues with those chaps at all. Get yourselves over here. All sorts of confusion about their formation. Just get yourself in over there, please. That'd be magnificent. Chariots, maybe just stop what you're doing. So, we're essentially in our new position here. Good. We're going to be a bit careful this time. Phalanxes, all of you get into pointy mode. That'll be ideal. Chosen Swordsman, get ourselves back in position. General, you can get yourself over here. That'll be perfect. And the rest of my cav, General aside, you probably need to go just all gather into that kind of a position on that flank. That is good for me. Why don't they want to take me on face... Take me on properly. They're getting into all sorts of awkward positions here. Okay, you go after the Sarmatians. See if you can chase those guys off. Actually, get the Eastern Infantry. They will definitely break. That's a good place to start, isn't it? Right, we'll get a break in on all of that lovely nonsense. Egyptian chariots coming in for hours. Let's go and get rid of those. Actually, not Pharaoh's Guard. Don't have a lot of choices here. Skirmishers. That's a pretty good choice, all things considered. They are going to charge into you. Try and blunt it with your own charge. You're going to take some heavy losses, but at least you're there. That's kind of the point of you being in that position, to be honest. You get yourselves into that area. Now, as for my dogs, both of you, can you just do the sensible good dog thing and just run away? That would be grand. As for these guys, we can do some good work with them. I need one set of cataphracts to come over here. Right, General, you turn yourself around, get yourself around the side. So your job is just to hold all infantry onto guard mode. That will keep me very happy if we can do that. Cataphracts don't need to run around there anymore. You should be fine. You all get yourselves around to the back of those chaps. You can make it through the gap as long as you're sensible and not complete fools about everything. Probably you'll know what the reality of that situation is. Into those Nubian spearmen in the back. That'll be perfect. And we'll get the generals back over here. Yeah, they're just running by and large, aren't they? I reckon we're in a pretty good position to just smash these guys as and when they arrive. They don't like being flanked. They don't like being taken on by chariots, and quite frankly, there's very little left at this point. So start shooting into those chaps. Who else is there who we need to hit? These guys over here. Pharaoh's Guard. Let's just get ourselves lined up for a charge in the back of them, please. Just a bit. No, over here. Over here. They're broken now. Fine, we don't even need to do that. I think we pretty much won, haven't we? Yeah, we pretty much won. This line is so much better for taking on Eastern forces because... Oof, yeah, the hoplites are just with a hold. They won't beat Pharaoh's Guard, of course, but just someone who can hold the line for more than 4 seconds is pretty darn welcome. So let's mop up as much as possible. They're running surprisingly fast at this point. But really the archers will just slaughter pretty much all of them. So Conan out around the side. We're going to get the phalanxes up just in case something stupid happens. Oof! The dogs are on their day to day. Right, well, that is just glorious. Another general goes down to a dog and lets us mop up what's left. What have we got? 13% lost. Not very much here. They've lost 90%, which should mean we waltz into an empty city. Even if we don't, it's not the end of the world, of course. The dogs are trying to mop them up. They'll nibble a few as they run away. 1,426 kills. We didn't lose very many there at all. About 150-ish overall. A bit more than that, maybe. Good. Palmyra's empty. We'll walk into that. We'll exterminate it, of course. Daesh having a chat, probably trying to bribe us, which is unfortunate. Yeah, they're all just trying to bribe, probably. So I'm not getting any actual meaningful diplomacy out of them. And into Petra you go. Thank you very much, sir. And what have we got? Philippos over here. Brave being the wars, hiding from the world. Interesting. This man is taken to live inside a giant amphora. He now lives in terror of the coming great wine pressing. He's convinced that this will strike in the hours of darkness. Yes, well, paranoid, likes to drink, watchful. Yeah, all this stuff adds together quite well, actually. But he has a very good list of people around him. Should probably pass on those retinue before I go and slaughter him. I'll happily take them for myself, but there we go. we're just going to head in. Sadly, we're not going to head straight in because the spies have failed to do their job. Most advanced faction is, of course, us. The faction announcements. Whole the Nova has a witch, which is grand, and otherwise not a lot of interest going on by the looks of it. Trait increase, sneaky for the Parisi. Good. So into Jerusalem. Siege that out. 4 siege towers. We'll just see if we can grab a little bit more. Why not? Palmyra is free. There's one army over there, but that seems to be the last of them, actually. Sidon, we have a warband to clear out some annoying rebels who have popped up. It's a bit rude of them, to be honest. A little bit preemptive. Yeah, a bit early for rebels. I don't really appreciate it, but there we go. That's my fault for leaving one unit in. Not really an issue, though. We've got another army over here. I did say I was going to send them up north. To be honest, I probably should. So now they've got a few more troops from Elwood over here. They can head in this direction. They can go and join our good old faction leader very soon. It's going to get an extra bit of retraining on the armies. And to be honest, there should be interesting Dacia. There should be some more experienced units here. There are a few slightly better chariots, so we're going to send those guys over. Actually, probably just as quick to go send everyone by boat at this point. So what have you got, sir? Grab your men. Yeah, we'll leave some of these behind. That will be perfect. So you grab all of that. Thracians and Peltasts. I'll take the Peltasts just because we're lacking any missiles, to be frank, but otherwise we're not having any issues. You guys head together and join that army. And yeah, Ufa of a Brokartham is happily guarding over there. So that's good. Things are coming together nicely. Dacian's clearly just attacking Thrace by any... Yeah, if I am correct, that seems to be what's going on. Byzantium's getting a few more dogs. We like those. We want to go bring those along. Okay. Largely, we managed to tie things up over here in Egypt. I'm just going to have a mop around the map. Check nothing else too silly is going on. Make sure my boats are back out into the centre of the seas here. So we have all the vision we could ever ask for. And after that, I think it's time pretty much to start heading into all those cities. What a few simple little walk-ins for us here. Then Petra, first of all, taking the mercenaries out as ever. That should be simple enough. Exterminate the population. And I wouldn't mind a watchtower or two, to be honest. So I'm just going to take him out with the chariots. We're just going to plonk down a watchtower if I'm allowed. There we go. I'm allowed one over here. And we'll go and plonk another one down next time. That will be grand. So yeah, just to give us a little bit of a better sight. Petra itself is not particularly well developed, is it? It's okay, actually. Not too bad. It's got the council chambers, if not a lot else. But in terms of military, it's good enough for us, I suppose. What should we get here? To be honest, just a couple warband to do the holding job. That'd be marvellous. Next time we'll just send them all out with our general, of course. Can you head towards Bostra? That'd be nice and simple. As for Jerusalem, to be honest, we've got the Eastern Infantry. They might as well leave just because they're going to be the garrison. So we'll look after those momentarily. That'll be another city falling to us. Jerusalem, ladies and gentlemen, has fallen to England. Ah, when I see Jerusalem in our green and pleasant lands, lovely stuff. Now, what else are we going to have to do in terms of finishing off Egypt? I really feel like we've completely succeeded here, because I don't really plan on doing every last little bit. That would, I think, be a bit much. But certainly things are not going too well for them, and I think we've very much broken their back. So I think what we'll very much look at trying to wrap this all up next time, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there's a good chance we'll still do a little bit of our when we do those little epilogues, we do a couple extra episodes just kind of wrapping up one or two little bits and pieces. But I think where we want to finish really is getting good old Hengist Pendragon to head over to this part of the world. Yeah, go and take Armenia, because I do love Armenia. It's my favourite part of the world on this game. Armenia, my favourite faction, of course. So we're going to go and send him up to Armenia with our good old friend over here. He's had to hop out the boat, actually. It's been a little bit awkward because Pontus are in the way. Pontus are pretty much dead at this point. They've had a Carnassus, and they have this one over here, of course. Yeah, Sakia's this. I don't think anything else is. Oh, Medea. Maybe that is Medea. That's the same thing. That's just me getting confused with the borders. Yeah, they're pretty much dead at this point, so I won't worry too much about them. Jerusalem has fallen. So has Petra. Today, obviously, we also took Sidon as well. Things are very much falling into place for us. And even over here, even though the Spanish look very chill indeed, we've got ourselves a few armies floating around the border just in case. There's plenty of boats who need to get themselves back into their little formations here across the sea. So we'll just get them to block this all up. That is absolutely beautiful. Good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, there's blocking all of that up. And everywhere else, we've got everything sorted out. The odd rebel here or there. Yeah, I think for today, just to finish this up, we'll just see if there's one final poke from Egypt. I think there's probably going to be something around Palmyra. Could probably do with getting a spy or two out of here, to be honest. Actually, let's just scrap all of that for a sec. Get them all to merge. Should have a bit of a simpler recruitment then. Good. Simple retraining. We'll get ourselves a spy. Need a few of those around. A bit short at this point. And the Antioch force, what we've got left over there, can probably start swinging in this direction. Just to pull an army together to take you out of Tarsus, which is almost always one of the most unhappy settlements in the game, in my experience. So we'll go on to that momentarily. I think best to get a few of these guys out. We'll see what we need to do to keep it happy. I don't mind leaving a couple of units behind. You have 1 experience. Well, you're up to now 65. We'll have 1 more 2 experience chap. That makes it just about happy. And then we'll send this guy over from Antioch, grab a few more infantrymen to come help him out. Couple slingers, 1 unit of Cretians, and then we're just back to the standard chariot chappies, which should pretty much make up the bulk of the rest of the force. Good, that's a full stack. You can head towards Damascus. That'll be mopped up pretty soon. Let's not worry about Sidon. We've got more heavy chariots coming from Salamis. And of course down here we've got plenty more units coming out, mostly dogs, because that's really the reputation we like to keep. A few more warbands just to keep it all going. Right, 1 out of 10, see if there's one final poke from the Egyptians for today before we look to finish this penultimate episode. Sadly, Gaheris of Lovian has passed away, which is a bit of a shame. He's done some good work, laying down watchtowers, of course, taking out the final, well, we thought it would be the final of the Egyptian, of the German settlements even. But, yeah, sad times for him to pass away. He's surprisingly, he surprisingly lived a shorter life than, where is his friend, who's probably dead now, I've said that. He's dead as well! The other chap was Urian, who seemed to live forever. He's apparently dead as well. We just got the great moustache man, Agravan himself, of course. He went and took the Amazonian city over here. We'll just send some guys to go mop up all of that. I've got a few forts around the world here at this point. You might notice, oh no, he's over there. He is still alive. We are 62. Well, he's a bit younger than I remember, but that's absolutely fine. We'll just send most of these chariots over to the forts. Their job, essentially, is to go and sit on the border, just mop things up. Really, particularly when you've got bigger regions like this, I like to put down the odd little fort with a few units of chariots and things. Some of these are quite big over there, actually, but they're a little bit smaller in other parts of the world. I needed one around here, didn't I? To plonk down a fort in this part. As I said before, it is good just to have yourself a few units of chariots you can just float around and do a little bit of mopping up rebel duty here or there. So that's what we're going to get from all of that nonsense. Thank you very much. These guys... Spain are actually on the border. It's finally happened. I don't know if they're actually reacting to me at this point. It could be that. Interesting. We might well have a bit of a Spanish conflict before the end of all this, which would be a bit of a shame after an entire game of peace, but they might just be floating over here. Doesn't look like they're floating over here, does it? I'm not actually on their border. I've kind of specifically... This one's just plugging this river path here. But I'm specifically not actually on the border properly. It is a bit of a force gathering. That is to be... yeah, I can understand if they feel a little bit threatened right now. But they don't have any archers, so I'm not particularly worried about them. They can't do an awful lot to me. What do they have anyway? They're bull warriors and the long shield cav. They're so... Yeah, there's just... It's a really hard campaign as Spain. You've just got to use the dogs heavily to your advantage. It's really the main weapon you've got. So I'm just going to send the extra units over here just to make sure we've got some extra backup. If Spain want to attack, I'm pretty sure we can make short work of them. Don't actually have the chariots over here in Britain. Should probably make sure we've got all of those sorted out just to make sure we're nice and safe from all of the rebels. Okay, yeah, nothing really happened in the end turn there, so we're probably just going to start marching our way onwards. That is very hard terrain to cross over there, so not getting very far at all. Over here for Bostra, we'll probably get just a little bit further, so we'll plonk down our watchtower, get everyone set up somewhere around the border, and we'll probably start heading into all of those chaps. So light chariots, get ourselves those reinforcement chappies, and we might just leave one light chariot in behind. Go grab some of these mercenaries on our way and make sure they don't spike and hit in the city. It's just utter trash, so nothing to worry about here whatsoever. Fine, we'll head into Bostra if I can ever manage to click properly, and over here we just need to get some retraining done because apparently I didn't actually press retrain on all of these lovelies. So we'll get all of these guys sorted out as much as we possibly can. To be honest, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rollover from here, I imagine. So we'll just look out for one last battle with all of this nonsense. Palmyra, perhaps we just need to go mop up someone. Perhaps we do. Fine, you know what? It's probably best to leave it, ladies and gents, because it does look like our allies might well be struggling to survive anymore. Just in case we can somehow save them with some money, I'm going to give them a nice pile of money. Here, have 10,000. Save yourself. Please do something. They're in trouble, aren't they? They're in big trouble, I imagine. They might have a chance. There's not a lot I can really do apart from go and spy on what's going on. Yeah, no extra units. Maybe try and assassin. See what I've got. Send your assassin. Actually, you've got someone over here. Might just have a chance to go and take that guy out. Might just help. Who knows? Find out all about that next time. But for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas. This is Tenez the Human, and this has been our King Arthur campaign. Thank you, and goodbye. Twice baked Italian is on the menu today. Infantry, come kill the Mongol scum. Ha 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 ha! This is just perfect. Look at it. Look at their infantry line. It's been annihilated by their own elephants. Death comes to flying Mongols.